The bitch is back, baby! Kick it! Don't want bossa nova. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on this thing. Subscribe, click, I don't know, yell at your friends, do whatever you want. What we're going to do today is a concert review for the Elton John Goodbye, Farewell, Yellow Brick Road tour. A lot of people bought tickets for a year ago or even 2 years ago. He's finally coming back and doing all the shows. My performance was February 4th, 2022. United Center at Chicago. Before we get to the actual concert, let's get into a little bit about Elton John. Now, before we get to Elton John, let's talk about seeing legends on the road. You got to see these legends. We're losing a lot of performers, of course, with age. Obviously, they get older. The guys that were from the 60s and the 70s, and now sometimes even the 80s, those guys and gals have limited time left on this planet, so go see them. Of course, you always play the odds with, are they going to still be good when they get into their late 60s and 70s and sometimes 80s, or are they going to kind of suck? Well, we'll get to that review real quick. Now, talking about legends, I was honored to see, not a great legend for everyone, but for the soul and for the sexual music fans. Barry White, I saw in 1996. That was really a moving show, man. When he comes out, he's like, "Hello, Chicago." You just know you're in store for a sexy night. 1997, I was lucky enough to see Tina Turner. Man, was she excellent. That was a good show. Go see these legends. They are iconic rock stars or iconic musicians for a reason. I really was so lucky to see Aretha Franklin in 2009. Aretha Franklin, I've seen probably like 1,000+ shows. I've seen tons of concerts. One of the top 5 concerts easily was Aretha Franklin in 2009. She just killed it. I saw her a few years after that again, and it was great. But something about that intimate venue and her just after a few songs in, like, I'm going to take these heels off. I'm not going to listen to the set list. I'm going to bring you all to church. And it was an amazing show. I saw Robert Plant in 2018, finally, after like growing up on Led Zeppelin and all that stuff. You have to listen to Zeppelin, the Mighty Zepp. Finally saw him in 2018, and he was great. Still at his older age. My history with Elton John, I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and he was always like the slow rock, the light rock king, man. When my mom would drive me to stores, she'd always play like country music, but then when certain stores I didn't have to go in with her, and I could sit out in the car all alone, our big station wagon, and I would churn that radio dial, and they'd be playing rock and roll from the time, and a lot of it was Elton John. He was saturated on the radio, and good for him. He had a great career in the 70s, all of his big hits. So I was always, in tune to who Elton John was, even as a kid. I think I was about 9 or so when his Live from Central Park concert filmed in 1980. So I was 9. I saw it a few years later. When it was on TV. On TV was like an early kind of channel, kind of cable-ish type channel where you would pay for the thing. Not a lot of people paid. Cool people like me. My dad had friends of friends that were able to get the little hot box, so you would steal that signal for free. And it was a great concert. It was just like some weird guy. Like, why is he dressed up as a duck singing all of his hits? But it was an amazing concert. And the answer to that question is drugs. So we go see Elton John. I worked till 4, drove on the Eisenhower up to the United Center. Everyone knows Chicago traffic sucks, but I was able to weave in and out, get there plenty of time to get a free spot. There's not a lot of free spots around United Center, and if I told you where I park, I'd have to kill you. Parking is like $25, I think, around United Center. There are some free parking spots around. Got there early enough, it was freezing cold. Grabbed some tacos a few blocks away. Love tacos. I don't like to brag, but in community college I did take a semester or 2 of piano. So on this tour, Elton John is the one and only act. There's no opening act. It's going to start at 8 p.m. It's going to go for about an hour and 45 minutes or so, 2 hours. It's a hell of a show. There's a little break in there, but all in all, it's about a 2-hour show. Going in, people are dressed up. They have these flashy shirts. They have the little sunglasses on. They're blinking light glasses. Checked out the merch booth. T-shirts, you know, 30, 35 bucks, and on and on. He's got jackets. He's got a lot of merch. So if you're an Elton John freak and you've never seen him live and you want to grab some of the stuff, he's got a lot of merch to choose from. The one item I did buy, because I like tour programs, is I think for 45 bucks, I got this tour program. And it's not a bad deal, because usually you get like a flimsy, I don't know, 10, 12 page program. It kind of sucks. This has a nice cover that I can't get it out of. It is a book. It's like an encyclopedia of Elton John here. Put that there. So yeah, you get the nice, you know, there, but this is the killer. And this is kind of the stage show. This is like, the stage comes out here, he's got his piano. If you're looking at the stage, you want to get your tickets to the left, because that's where he performs like 85% of the time. So if you want to be closer to Elton John, like once again, if you're looking at the stage, you want to get your tickets to the left side. My tickets, I was in the 200 section, which is pretty good in United Center, just straight across. So I was really happy with my tickets. And this is a nice program. This really has like pictures of Sir Elton John throughout the time. And it's got, you know, I think it's like a history and stuff, and just, you know, it's like his farewell to playing. He's what, 74, and in his eyes, you know, he wants to be a family man now, which can't blame him. Because at 74, how much time does, I think male life expectancy on this planet is around 74 to 76. Now, is he going out in style? That's the review. My opinion, so I've never seen him. Never heard him live in person, only seen like YouTube and concert videos and all that stuff. His voice now at 74 is pretty damn close to his voice, you know, at his peak. Obviously, he's an older guy, he's not going to sustain the notes as long, but the pitch, the tone, everything, you know, it's there. He's a great performer and one hell of a piano player. I often forget like these singer, songwriter type dudes, you know, that play the piano. You know their music and stuff, but his piano does come through in those songs, and you forget how great of a piano player was. For me, he reminded me on the keys. It's a musician term, the keys. He sounds a lot like, I think the guy's name was Jimmy Johnston, who used to play for Chuck Berry. He just has that, and I mean, like Elton John, he's got little stubby hands, stubby fingers. I always tell you, if you're going to play piano, you got to have these long, yeah, obviously not. So the set list is like 22 songs, I believe. It's pretty much the hits. I think for people that have seen him a million times, they're probably going to want this last concert to be some of the deep cuts and stuff. But for me, a person who's never seen him live before, and I know all the hits, I only own a few of his albums, and the majority of them are his hits albums. But you're going to hear Benny and the Jets, Philadelphia Freedom. I guess that's why they call it the blues. Tiny Dancer, Rocketman, Take Me to the Pilot, Leave On, Candle in the Wind, Funeral for a Friend, Sad Songs, Bitch is Back, Rock It Out Rock, Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting, Your Song, and of course he ends with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. But there's like 22 songs. I think I knew 20 of them. I consider myself a hardcore fan or anything like that. You are still going to be well entertained because you're going to know these songs. Go see this guy. He's a legend. He's putting on a hell of a show. Yeah, he's not going to jump up and do handstands on a piano anymore. He will slam the little piano, little top, the little lid a few times. And as he's walking, because sometimes he walks to get a drink stuff, you do realize his age. You're like, oh my God. The guy, he probably almost at a point where he does need one of those like walkers on a wheel things, but when he sits down, man, this is his element. You know, he doesn't need to be running around and doing crazy anymore. Guy's an excellent piano player, excellent performer. Seemed very genuine to be happy to be playing. You know, he said some things about Chicago. I'm sure every town he goes to, he's going to say something about that town, and it just seems really sincere. It seems like he's at a good place. He wants to perform one hell of a show for you one last time, and then he's out of here. Speaking about the tour, it does go. The United States ends at the end of this year, 2022. He plays in LA Stadium. That's going to be it for United States, I believe. And I think it goes into 2023 up until the summer over there in Europe. If you live here in the States, you're just going to have within this year to go check him out if you've never seen him or if you do want to say so long to him. The stage show was excellent. Like I said, the whole theme is the Goodbye to the Yellow Brick Road. His band is top-notch. Drummer Nigel on drums, longtime drummer for Elton John, plays great, sings the harmonies great. His guitar player, his other keyboard player, they're all just excellent musicians. Ray Cooper, the percussionist, the crazy bald guy on percussion, you've seen him play for everyone. Ever since I was a kid, he's kind of looked the same. He was the old dude doing the like the tambourine. Don't watch it. because then you won't be able to take your eyes off of him. It's kind of interesting and annoying all at the same time. So when he's up on that screen, just avert your eyes. Now everything can't be a high note. The low points. There are just a few things that if I was personally in charge of the Elton John Farewell Tour, I would do. On the video screen, pretty much every song is either going to have like computer graphics or like a short movie or video to go along with that song, which is excellent. I love that people are using video screens. Also off to the sides was the video of him performing. 85-90% of the time it's on Elton or his hands playing. They do show the other people of the band, but obviously Elton's the star of the show, so they're showing him on a concert screen. So even if you have cheap seats or horrible seats, you're still going to be able to see a close-up of what's happening on those screens there. Things I would change on those screen, on the main screen, last song or two he had like old-time clips of his. I would have loved the scene less of the kind of movie things or graphic things. I mean, certain song, Rocketman, of course you're going to want to see an outer space kind of graphic. But for other songs, it would have been really nice, since this is the farewell show, to see like old pictures of him and stuff like that. Like I said, they do that like the last song or two, but it would have been nice thrown out there, you know, here and there. Seems like the set list is pretty much the same all the time, and that set list excludes Daniel. I love Daniel. It's one of my favorite songs. Yes, I should have seen Elton John way before this tour. I should have been seeing him off and on all along his career, but coming forward so many shows, and you only think about seeing, you know, so many people. So I wish he would have played Daniel. Circle of Life, one of my favorites. Being a zookeeper and taking care of lions for a long time. Loving the whole Lion King thing. Circle of Life would have just put it over the top for me. But like I said, thinking about 22 songs, all the songs are great. Had an amazing time. That's the most important thing. I think Elton John wants us to go to the show, jam out through these songs, appreciate the huge catalog of songs that he's been involved in, and just have a wonderful time. And I tell you, when I was just there, the crowd was singing along to every single song. People of all ages. He drew a crowd of people bringing their grandkids to them being grandparents themselves. All ages. Everyone was smiling. Everyone was having fun. We're not in a happy world right now, but for Elton, that one Friday night, man, everyone in United Center had smiles on their faces. We were having a great time, and that is what it's all about. So for sure, if you get a chance, go check this tour out. If not, can't afford a ticket, you know, you got me. Because I saw Elton John, burning on the fuse of Elton John. I don't know.